Where's the struggle?
The struggle is over because I think we continue to do that. But more important than just talking about it, it's because what we've been doing on the ground in our programs. What's being seen is not what was being we were being criticized for or what we were being charged with doing, something else. There have been no bases built, no garrisons of soldiers or squadrons of sailors or airmen or battalions of Marines that have come in and just took root in a place. That hasn't happened. What has happened has been a concerted effort to increase the productivity of our activities, our programs, our exercises, our mill-to-mill relationships, where we listen to what a country wants us to do, we go do it in small measure. This exercise is one of the larger things, but we do so much more, not at this scale, but very, very meaningful to the people. And over the course of the last year and a half, we've talked about that as our approach. We've done it in we think, a collaborative way. We look to get better at being more collaborative, but it's known that we seek to be collaborative. And we go out and then we do it. And then we listen. And folks say, yeah, we told you this, and this is what you're doing. That's exactly right. And so it's been our programs that we've been conducting all over the continent, not just here in East Africa, but North Africa, Central, South Africa, West Africa. We were just in Sierra Leone, where we were working some of the maritime issues there, where we brought in, we call it our Africa Maritime Law Enforcement Program, where we work with the Sierra Leone government, their security force, U.S. Coast Guard, law enforcement personnel, to help them be more capable of providing security in their territorial waters. We did it, turned it over to them after our training portion was done, after providing a platform, and that continues. President of Sierra Leone so expressed to me his thanks for having done something that helped his people. And now he can use that to build upon with his security forces to move ahead. And so, and it's been those sorts of programs that have demonstrated who we are, and that's turned the tide. So it's been a combination of that, and you're right. And I thank you for acknowledging that too, because we aren't asked now, well, why is there an Africa man? We've proven why we are value added to what goes on. It's now more of what more can you do for us? What more can you do in helping us?
On this trip, I will be in East Africa, and I will also be in the South, down in Botswana. And throughout it all, the common thread appears to be the medical and health prevention, medical research, health prevention. Illness appears to be a very, very serious challenge for all of the African nations. How does that factor into what you do?
Well, the security aspects are present there, as in food security. Clearly, health is a significant issue. If you don't have a healthy population, it certainly takes resources to deal with that. It limits the ability of the population to be productive because of the sickness. We don't get directly involved. That's not our direct lead. But where there are other programs in place, our USAID, other non-government organizations doing things, if we can complement those efforts, if we can give a boost to those efforts to help increase the health of the people, livestock that they rely on for food and other uses, then we help address those health concerns. Also through some of our educational programs as we work with these militaries of these countries, educating them on some things regarding health, HIV/AIDS, malaria, other things, good health practices because of the relationship that they have with their civil society. It has a cumulative effect, and so we do our part in recognizing the role that health does play in the security sector.
Let's talk a little bit about strategy. AFRICOM was set up as a strategic move by U.S. foreign policy. Talk to that a little bit. Where's the strategy? I mean, what is the number one strategic move, the purpose behind AFRICOM?
The purpose behind the command is reflected in our sustained engagement, reflected in our commitment to working with the African nations, both bilaterally as well as regionally, such that through their will, their commitment to doing things to help bring about a more stable continent of Africa, but knowing that in order to do that, at this point in time, help is needed. They require assistance in various forms that they let us know about, and where we can be a sustained and committed partner in providing that help. That is the long-term strategic interest that we satisfy for our country as Americans, that we satisfy for our friends in Africa as partners in helping them achieve those goals, so that when you look from this point forward, 20, 30, 50 years, there's a more stable continent of Africa because of the ability of Africans to provide for their own security. And that's our strategic goal, because in so doing, that serves our United States national interests.
Are you moving fast enough?
We probably never move fast enough, but from our perspective, that's one thing. We also have to look at it from the perspective of our partners here in Africa. And so we have to move at their pace because it's their program, it's their continent, and we're not in charge.
How do you strike balance between understanding Africa from the local to the international level versus being a military command, all that requires? I mean, they're like two different hats.
Yeah. Always working on it. We are doing things inside of the command, inside of our staff, to cause our people to better understand the continent from the perspective of others, in particular the Africans. So we bring in speakers, we conduct seminars, we expose members of the command to the continent. They come here and they spend time here in Africa. They see it from a different point of view, and it's through those factors and those actions that we do see it differently, and we tend to not be so myopic in our view, but we see it from a much wider lens, and we're all better off because of that.
Okay, so sum it up for me. Again, you said this a million times, one more time, please. What's the point? Why should this promise be kept?
Because by keeping the promise, we do something that's good for the world. It's certainly good for the African nation. It's good for America. By creating a more stable continent of Africa, able to contribute in our global society in ways that contributes to overall productivity, development, so that the people of this continent can have as much hope for the future as we have in our country. And when we do that in today's globalized society, we all benefit. There's no great seas don't separate us, deserts don't separate us, mountain ranges do not separate us. And so to the degree that we are more stable as a global community, that indeed makes us as Americans more stable as well.
Anything else you want to talk about?
I'm just happy to be a part of this, because it's truly a part of a place and time where
It is unique.
the work we're doing is going to make a difference 20, 50 years from now. And we're going to be better off as a nation and as a global society for the attention that we paid now to trying to make Africa a more stable continent. And I'm just happy to be a part of this noble endeavor.
Number one, thank you for your time.
Thank you.